a Divine Mind after last week, where every single one of those series was 5 mappers, probably makes you maybe lean a little bit more towards BBR, right?
Yeah, I think Hoots nailed it, really. It's just it's an opportunity for BBR to take them down, because honestly, you know, all credit to BBR. They've been playing really, really well, but the Chiefs roster is just a stronger roster. They have a better track record, and despite BBR playing really well, there is no reason why the Chiefs shouldn't be beating BBR, in my opinion. And, you know, it sounds a bit brutal to the BBR guys, but it's, you know, this is their opportunity to take down Chiefs, because they're a bit battered and bruised right now. You know, maybe their mental isn't in quite the right space. And on the flip side of that, the BBR is looking really good, and they've just taken down Direwolf, so they're just playing out of their skins tonight. If there's any time for BBR to make it to the grand finals, it's tonight, just as Hoot said.
Absolutely, Justin. So we're jumping into this CTF Aquarius. It's worth noting, you know, when we had the Chiefs' original roster on it with Barcode, they spoke several times about how after playing in the US for a little bit of time, they really relearned how to play this game type. They thought they were doing it right. After going to the US, they found they were doing it completely wrong. And then they were able to make a few tweaks. But obviously Barcode no longer on that side anymore. So we're going to get a first look for us really at how the Chiefs do perform on this game type now with this new roster. We start off with Beastn. He's unfortunately taken down there by Benjy. Benjy was a player we saw really starting to light fire in the previous series we've been watching BBR. But as we see very early on, we have a flag run being pulled. And I like Benjy here being the anchor back at the flag, because whilst Adz can start running that flag, Benjy is just being an absolute nuisance in this base, working with the spawners. We see Adz actually coming back and helping him out, so they're wanting to get a few rounds of Slayz in before running this flag, but Benjy straight away heading back to the flag. He's going to provide a real nuisance for Slayz there, who's taken down, and this is just perfect play by Benjy. Adz has been able to get this pretty much to his base, and Justin, within a matter of moments, we have BBR putting in the first flag. Adz and Benjy just working absolutely perfect with each other.
Yeah, that momentum seems to be just right behind BBR. They're in the Black Pearl, wind in the sails, just sailing the high seas right now. The Chiefs weren't prepared for them, able to secure a flag straight out of the rip here. All the boys feeling good. BZIIRK 0-3 right now. Yes, it's early on, so you can forgive a player for having 0 kills on the board, but when Ninjestics is 5-1 at the moment, it's kind of a sad state of affairs for the Chiefs guys. It's just, you know, BBR coming out of the gate so strong.
Absolutely. I mean, yeah, you just highlighted that. The kills, Beastn and BZIIRK right now, sort of not really troubling the scoreboard too much at the very start. And yeah, Ninjestics just leading the way. So the Slayz clearly coming in for BBR. And look at this as we have Braddles here, top mid, just putting absolute work into the Chiefs squad at their back flag. They did have 3 down for a second there. Braddles unfortunately just couldn't get in quick enough to really capitalize on that disruption they were causing in the Chiefs base. But I love this from Adz, just playing real sneaky. We saw him actually doing this earlier as well when he was over on P side, working really well there, taking down Madsy. This camo's coming up, and I love this, the area denial coming through with those shock nades, just stopping any kind of push from over on P side. He's taken down on car. Ninjestics, though, is right there as well. This camo, I'm not sure who's actually been able to pick it up, if it even has been picked up yet, but the flag, an attempt at least, by the Chiefs, but that is going to be quashed pretty quickly by Ninjestics. 2 down for BBR, 2 down for Chiefs. The flag is sitting down at bottom center for the Chiefs, and it looks like we're going to have Braddles here moving in. He should be able to get this return here, and he's got himself a heat wave and picks up the nade kill, a blind nade there going in. So things just working for Braddles as he picks up the double. 2 down for Chiefs, and we do see Braddles now starting to push over on this car side. He does have 2 players over there in the locker side, and he's just going to manage to walk around, sorry, into the util, I should say, and with this heat wave you can get up nice, close and personal, but BZIIRK has actually managed to get across on the other side, so he's going to have a few to deal with. Picks up at least 1. Not a bad effort there with the heat wave going again. Justin doesn't connect, but it's just the ruckus they're causing and keeping the Chiefs completely both off guard as well as just completely unsettled.
Speaking of unsettled, something that's unsettling me is just how much Father Benjy is taking apart the Chiefs currently. Yes, Beastn just got a nice little 4-shot there, but BBR seems to just be outslaying the Chiefs, which is just something that you wouldn't expect with so much star player power on the Chiefs roster. But now with Beastn here trying to get his boys back into the game, he gets called out instantly and just melted. But, you know, Beastn did really well to do a lot of damage there. Hail Mary medal for Slayz there, just placing that nade perfectly, but he gets called out and taken down. bradlllzzzz and Adz shooting him down to perfection. BZIIRK going for the ego chow to get that flag
nice.
in, and it works perfectly, and then snaps onto bradlllzzz's bottom mid for the cleanup. BZIIRK might be firing up. This could be the return of the Chiefs that we know.
Yeah, it looks like Chiefs have started to get a bit of ascendancy in terms of the Slayz as well. Obviously, we still have Benjy and Ninjestics going off, but the Chiefs across the board a bit more consistent with their kills. Benjy just a sort of a real whip and manages to pick up that kill finally. He wants to just stay alive while his shields come back. He still has his camo 3 down for the Chiefs, and this can be really dangerous. Benjy can get in behind the Chiefs if they do start spawning flag and can get a few quick picks before making a pull of his own. There's actually no one there, so they have spawned over on the util side, on the car side, I should say. Sorry, Benjy I think he's going to hang back and wait for his teammates to come in. He does start to make the push now. The nade isn't going to connect there on Madsy, I believe, but he does end up dropping him. 2 down for the Chiefs, and we are starting to see the Chiefs now push back. Ninjestics is in the base there, just causing a bit of a ruckus, so trying to clear him out before they can start to make a move on a flag themselves. So nice work there, Beastn, starting to get a bit more top control. I thought he was at least chucking the nade up there, but this heat wave obviously more important. He knows the kind of damage he can do with that. Shots there on Benjy. Benjy will be dropped. And so that's 2 down again for each team, Justin. So I think we've sort of hit a bit of an even point right now. BBR definitely got the jump on them, but Chiefs are starting to work their way back into the game and start to get a bit of map ascendancy now.
Yeah, and look at this killing spree for Beastn. He seems to be firing up big time, and he's wasting no time getting this flag moving as well. The Chiefs, they seem to be getting a little bit more comfortable. You know, BBR caught them off guard, off the rip, but someone in the comms went, boys, time to pull your heads in and get it done. Uncontested flag, it just goes straight in, and then Adz just gets deleted off the map. He just disintegrated by Beastn right there. Very well placed shot. Now on board with BZIIRK throwing out those sizzle sticks, taking down those players. He's caught unawares, not sure where that player is. Adz catching him by surprise now. Beastn still got that heat wave. He's almost used all the ammo in it. Finds one player, able to take him down. The reversal and the double kill. Beastn just doing so much work, and that allowed Madsy to get that flag in, and now it's 3-1 in favor of the Chiefs.
Guys, quick as you like for the Chiefs there. They've just turned it on all of a sudden, and yeah, there's just BBR have just been getting hammered off the spawn the whole time. You can even see now coming into their flag, just fire being rained down upon them. BZIIRK starting to move in. Look at this, the whole Chiefs squad pushing in on BBR. They've got the camo in the hands of Madsy as well. Benjy's going to be the last one alive, although he does get a nice nade in there to cause a bit of damage. He is sitting there over at P side, so he's done a really good job actually of keeping the Chiefs from pulling this flag. It looked like they had this one locked in the bag for sure to at least be able to get away and get closer to their base, but haven't even been able to take it off the plat there. So BZIIRK, he's just going to hang fire for a little bit, knowing that 2 of his teammates are down and BBR is all 4 up. Just really nice work here by BZIIRK, just making sure he's staying alive, getting in a good position. He is dropped, so that's 4 down quickly for the Chiefs. A real swing of momentum there. bradlllzzzz now taking this top position. We've seen him doing this quite a lot, Justin. He's able to put some shots into the spawners of the Chiefs spawning on the flag, and look at this. He knows where they're going to be spawning themselves over on the fridge side. So it looks like Slayz is going to be caught completely unawares. That's 3 down again for the Chiefs. So we are going to see BBR, I think, be in a position to get a cap here. I don't think anyone from the Chiefs is going to be in a position, apart from Madsy, who is just flooring it into the base there. If you're Ninjestics, I think you're in a pretty safe spot to put this one in. No. 4 shots, I think, at once. I reckon that was a full team perfect 4 shot just coming across and wiping him off straight away. This flag still hasn't gone in. In fact, the Chiefs are pulling one of themselves. Beastn gets a touch. The flag is still alive, although Adz is going to be taken down. Benjy's sort of the last one in a position to try and keep this flag alive. This has been an incredible flip, Justin.
It certainly has. That, you know, goal line clutch there to keep that flag going, and Madsy gets the return as well. Oh my God, you got to be heartbroken if you're the BBR boys. They had the nice clean run, and then just falling on their face there. That camo just scooped up by bradlllzzzz there. you know, ninjaed that from him. But now on board with Braddlz with that camo. Cannot afford to let that one go up easy. That's really unfortunate. They lose that flag right there on the finish line and then just get melted with the camo. It's not looking good for BBR, but I say that Ninjestics is going to prove me wrong here. Already getting a flag moving. He's stuck a little bit by BZIIRK and Beastn behind him as well. This is not the kind of sandwich that you would want to have at this time of night. He gets deleted off the map. Now with Madsy trying to put some shots down, doing well to apply damage, grabs the flag, gets it on the move, trying to stay alive. He gets around the corner. Yeah, nice. He's one shot. Shields are flashing. A little bit of a fumble. That's unfortunate, but he picks it up anyway. No time to lose, and he fumbles again. And he's gone, Madsy, what are you doing? Bad Madsy. But he does go down, but he did do well to get it that far. Just unfortunately, a couple of fumbles there. Beastn now moving in to try and get a touch, but Braddlz, the ever consistent BR shot, just strong position, having the high ground there, taking him out, and wingman medal for Madsy. You can tell Madsy's wide in. He's trying to get his team back into this game.
Absolutely. 2.5 minutes left. We do have Chiefs out to a 2-flag lead right now. It looks like, you know, Braddlz doing a great effort to defend that flag at least, but he wasn't able to get a hand on it, and so we do have it reset. So BBR, their first flag attempt was just so clean, but everyone from there has just been a real scrap, and we did see earlier Ninjestics just not able to put that one in when he was right on the goal line. So incredible defensive work from the Chiefs, and they are starting to run another flag themselves. It seems like all 4 Chiefs players actually over on the BBR side of the base now, and a bit of a standoff here. Benjy and Madsy just both around this corner waiting. Eventually it's Slayz who pops out. He ends up being wiped, and BZIIRK, he gets dropped as well. So a bit of a standoff here right now, Justin. I think the camo is now popped, so we are going to see someone start to make a move on that, you'd assume, but no one's actually at top mid right now. Slayz still running this flag. He's actually palming it off. Smart move here. He has a heat wave in his back pocket. Both flags are out. It looks like the Chiefs are probably in a stronger position to capture this right now, because we do have the flag here now being returned, and we have 4 up for the Chiefs. This one's going to go in as well. Beastn puts that in, and we just look at the Slayz here quickly right now. Beastn leading for the Chiefs 21, but we do have Benjy, I should just say. It's hilarious in its own right. But Benjy with 24 leading the map, but looks like the final flag here starting to be run for the Chiefs. So they want to put this one in. They're only with a minute left, so 3-flag lead for them. They just want to put this one out of reach though, Justin, completely, and finish it before regulation's over. Slayz with that heat wave, that's just been a decisive weapon throughout this game so far. But it looks like the Chiefs probably not going to be able to put this one in, so we might end up just having a 4-1 finish here, but I don't really think they're going to be able to get a touch on this one, although as I say that, we do have Beastn coming in just to keep it alive, Justin. They want to close this one out.
Hurts. I really do not think that you roasted Adz enough in that situation.
I wanted to leave him.
I apologize to the chat for not maintaining my composure, but in all my years, I've never seen anything like that. That was just pure class. That clip is going to be doing the rounds for years, I reckon. But the Chiefs just looking so strong right now, and Beastn just straight up, it's in the gamer tag. He's just going monstrous for his squad. Look at him. He's going in. He wants blood. He's taking those boys out. And 7 seconds to go. And it does look like the Chiefs are going to be able to put this one in the bag. BBR, they had some moments of glory there, but it didn't matter. Chiefs, they just woken up a little bit.
A little bit of a glitch at the end there, but we do have 4-1 coming through for the Chiefs. As we said at the start, Beastn with a very BBR with a very strong start there, but unfortunately after that they went on a -4 cap run. The Chiefs just putting 4 straight in and really shutting that one out. So that's a big statement to start off with, Justin. We thought we'd see BBR potentially be able to, you know, really hang with them, and they were at the start, but it just sort of all seemed to fell away at the end. Chiefs really got the ascendancy there. They had a couple camos in their back pocket, in particular that control of the heat wave that they managed to maintain throughout most of that game was a real difference maker in the end there. Just having a look at the stats quickly, and look from a damage point of view, you know, pretty even. In fact, it was Benjy, as we said, leading all comers in terms of kills. 32 kills, 18 deaths, Justin. So a real solid effort there. And I don't know, are we going to see Adz's play in the highlight reel?
Oh, I'm waiting for it. I just put that one up 5 times in a row. That's what I want. Hopefully production can make that happen. That was just one of those really unfortunate things that you hope doesn't get caught up on camera. That's unfortunate for Adz, but a veteran player like him, I'm sure he's just gonna, you know, laugh that one off and go, all right, boys, yeah, that was real funny, and then just get his head in the right space for the next game that's coming up. But the Chiefs seems to have woken up a little bit, Adz. I don't know if you feel it. They're not really having to outstyle them too much yet. What is this? Oh no, that wasn't a 360. That's got to be a 720
like
or a 900
or something.
Someone in the chat go back and just count how many times it was. Did he Tony Hawk it? Because I reckon he did.
I think he might have. It was it was definitely a double 360 medal at a minimum, I think. But if you are pulling off stuff like that, you know, in an elimination bracket final, we're obviously not in the grand final right now, but this is do or die here for both teams. So to be able to go on for style points like that, something we don't see too often. So I guess maybe that speaks to the confidence level of the Chiefs. We were maybe a bit worried that after the 3-0 loss to Divine Mind that maybe they'd be down in the dumps and that things weren't going to plan for them. But maybe they're out to just have a little bit of fun, get that positivity going to bring into the grand final if they are to make it there. We do move on now, Justin, to Slayer on live fire here. The Chiefs obviously there with a pretty dominant game 1. BBR looking to try and bounce back in this best of 5 for game 2. Obviously we only need 3 wins to get you through to that grand final. If it is Chiefs to get through to the grand final, they're going to have to reset the bracket against Divine Mind. So they definitely have their work cut out for them regardless, but we are starting off with Beastn heading straight down to, well, he was heading straight down to bottom middle, but instead we have Madsy now working with BZIIRK here, coming up through the sneaky. We do have Adz waiting there with some nades coming through. Benjy as well. Wow. Madsy just takes up both. BZIIRK ends up being the cover. That's a triple coming through. Going for the overkill. Surely not Ninjestics.
Ninjestics, turn around and pay it to him.
Why are you running away? We could have had the big highlight that we wanted, Justin. Unfortunately, Ninjestics just a bit of a party pooper there. And we still get a really nice triple to open things off. Great work there from Madsy at the start.
Yeah, it really was. And Beastn, a bit of a self-destruct there. I think he fell off the map. Now, Bradl's just so consistent with making sure he's doing the right things on the map. And yeah, he's not putting up big numbers, but he made sure that he was there contesting that overshield and then picked it up for free. And now he's coming in to clean house, grabs himself 1 second there is for him. And he's got so much overshield to use as well. You know, like that overshield there gave him the confidence to go out and challenge those 2 players and take them down. Now look at him getting in the faces of the Chiefs guys, and the pinch is coming in. Plenty of shields left for Bradlls. They're cleaning the players out. Madsy with that needler trying to hold him back, but here comes Bradlls. He does get taken down. That's unfortunate for him, but BBR, they've got a 4-kill lead at the moment. Hoots coming out of the gates pretty hot.
Yeah, Bradlls did a lot of work in the garage there, but unfortunately he didn't really have the teammates to help him capitalize there. With the kind of damage he was doing, that could have easily been a 4-man wipe for BBR there on the Chiefs, but I think he managed to pick up maybe 1 or 2 kills, and unfortunately that was about it. Look at the swarm of the Chiefs here on this B side, just quickly dropping 2 BBR players, and now moving straight on to the next over at tower, knowing that's where the rest are spawning. Bradl's here stuck in bottom tower. He's probably going to get taken out by a nade there. Beastn will drop him. BZIIRK taking out Ninjestics, so Chiefs rolling really strong now. They've now taken the lead, and they're just rolling around. They're isolating 2 players from BBR each time off the spawn, and just moving them in and taking them out. We see Slayz taking Adz down in the kill feed. Slayz takes down Benjy, and now we have the second wave. So this wave of 2 down, 2 down, 2 down is just being repeated by the Chiefs. And look at the turn of the score now. We've got 18 to 12, a 6-kill lead for the Chiefs. They've been playing these split spawns really perfectly, Justin.
It really is, you know, like this early in the game, you can flip the script really quickly, but it seems that the Chiefs have, you know, they've started just getting in the groove a little bit. Nice double kill for Slayz there. They get a pick and they just get in hyper aggressive, working together there. And Slayz with a little bit of that overshield should make an easy kill onto Ninjestics. Ninjestics doing pretty well to survive there. Bradl's poking out enough to melt him with that heat wave in hand, but on board with Benjy. He dropped 30 kills the last game and a boatload of assists. So looking to him to repeat that performance in this Slayer game. Unfortunate, not able to get that kill, and that player getting away. Benjy doing everything that he can, and he's trying to get away. I'm looking at the wrong part of the screen. My apologies there, folks. But Adz is Mads are on board with him. He cops a grenade and goes down, unfortunately. Now with Bradl's triple kill for Brad. putting in some nice shots, just such consistent BRs, but that doesn't matter when you get a flurry of grenades landing at your feet and putting you into the respawn screen. But now with BZIIRK, Mr. Light Aim, getting some nice shots over in the garage there. Adz backed off a little bit, but they both get out to challenge each other. I love that. But Slayz comes in, one burst cleanup with the sniper in hand, ready to take out players. bradllllzzz's caught in the open a little bit. He does grab himself one kill, but here comes the collapse. Slayz is watching one angle, trust Madsy will be able to get that kill, but no, bradlllzzz's getting the better of Madsy in that situation.
What?
And now Sway's going for some style points of his own. He's got this snipe and he's like, boys, I'm getting itchy fingers. Where are the players at? And he hits Benjy there, gets the body shot. No headshot, but I'm going to pay it, Hoots.
Did someone tell Slayz that we were watching his POV? Did he know somehow? Because clearly just running around doing 360s, he knew he was being watched, but they're only up by 6, Justin. So, you know, I like the showmanship, I like the confidence, but you're not winning by a huge amount yet. So, you know, you just look now, Beastn's dropped, the swarm coming in from BBR. This lead now only down to 4. We do have a snipe in the hand of Slayz, though. Nice shot there on Adz, jumping out, catching him in the air, moving in through the garage now, and we do have him just grabbing another no-scope, so he's heating up. Maybe he can start to do a few more 360s because he's clearly starting to feel the rhythm. He knows bradlllzzz's is there as well. He didn't hit the third one. I thought he would, but look at the use of the pillar. Ends up getting the trade. That's going to help bring that lead back out again to about, I'm just looking at the score quickly, about a 7-kill lead. So, you know, it seems like that initial thing we were talking about a bit earlier, where they were isolating the spawns, getting about 2 or 3 rounds of 2 downs. That's sort of been the lead they've been able to hold this whole time. BBR haven't been able to get it back. Still a 7-kill lead now for Chiefs. Not sure what Slayz is doing, just shaking his head there at one of his teammates. But meanwhile, they just come straight into the garage and start putting in more work. And it's just been death sort of everywhere right now for BBR. 3 down, 4 Chiefs though, momentarily. 6-kill gap, but Chiefs have hit that 40-point lead, Justin. This is where we start to pay a lot of attention.
Yeah, I mean, Chiefs is mucking around a little bit, and they've got to give respect to BBR because they'll start picking up on those opportunities that you give them. But I don't know if maybe it's their strategy. Maybe they're a bit tilted from the previous series and they went, you know what, boys, let's have a little bit of fun. We'll make sure we win these games, but we've got to get loosey-goosey. We've got to get a different mindset for when we come up against Divine Mind. And the scoreline, it's pretty tight, but it's kind of like the Chiefs are just kind of having a little bit of fun with it at the moment, I think. And BBR, they're holding on the best that they can, but we are on board with Madsy, who's 12 and 8 at the moment, putting in some shots there. Takes down Ninjestics, grabs the overshield, not able to slam that one in. Does look like Adz was able to scoop that up, but he goes down as well. No scope for Slayz, double kill, triple kills there if he wants it. Doesn't manage to hit it, unfortunate for him. That could have been the most dirty overkill I've ever seen, but not able to connect. He was lining that one up, but luckily Ninjestics having a little bit of a sit on the ground and thinking about what went wrong that game and crouching there.
Yeah, they're certainly going for style points at the end there. I thought maybe that final OS that I think Adz was able to get, I thought that was maybe going to be the last chance for BBR to get back in. I think he might have even been assassinated, to be honest. I think he had his back to Slayz there towards the end, and Slayz came in with that snipe, was able to drop that OS, and at that point it was really all she wrote. So with BBR not able to utilize that OS there, they do now go down 2-0 in this series. So Chiefs 1 game away from the rematch with Divine Mind in the grand final. And we're just taking a look at the stats here. Across the board, it was a pretty consistent performance from the Chiefs. They really did start to feel their momentum towards the end, and I think even though the match was relatively close, I think they were just toying with BBR towards the end there. 5 double kills out of Slayz, so he was racking up the multis, and I think a lot of them came through when they were isolating those spawns consistently for about a minute and a half period. But off the break, really, Madsy, we almost had that overkill, Justin. Ninjestics just drops right back off that ledge and you know, doesn't give us what we're after, unfortunately.
Yeah, listen, Ninjestics, jump out and challenge every single time. You know, it's either you get a massive kill and shut them down, or we get a lovely clip that we can farm in interactions on Twitter with. So next time, just jump out and challenge so Madsy might get that overkill. But I think Slayz is the guy we need to talk about that last game, Hoots. Not only was he putting up big numbers, but it just seems like he was doing it with his feet. Like, he was just kind of hanging out. He was leaning back in his chair, like yawning a little bit, just going, boys, are we going to like win this series? Because I really want to beat Divine Mind. And I think that's the correct mindset for them. You know, you want your players to be taking the game seriously and, no, like 100%, 100, all of the time. But I really do think that maybe they're a bit defeated after the Divine Mind matchup, and they're just doing what they can to shake things off, have a bit of fun, and Slayz will be like, "Oi, Madsy, watch me 360 no scope this guy," and just going for it. And it's like, a bit of banter there, and maybe Madsy not hitting that overkill. BZIIRK's going, "Oh, Mads couldn't get the overkill. You're trash, mate," and they're all just kind of gelling a little bit. But BBR, they have performed really well tonight, Hoots. So, probably a good primer for the Chiefs if they're really looking at taking down Divine Mind. And will we see the BBR run fall here? Potentially. The Chiefs are starting to look a little bit better.
I think you're exactly right talking about the morale boost that they were using that last game to do. I think that's exactly right. I think they would have been really down in the dumps after that kind of spanking they caught from Divine Mind for the most part in that winners finals series. And so at that point, how do you get out of that funk? You just want to play to try and catch fire. So if you think you're up and about in the game, you've got a bit of a kill buffer, do something to try and, get the team amped when they see you on the death screen or something. Launching yourself into the air, doing a 360 and catching a no-scope. And I think Slayz is trying his best to do that. And who knows, maybe that's the morale boost they do need, because right now it looks like they are going to be in a position, if they shut this one out, to head into that grand final for the rematch against who are becoming their arch nemesis right now, Divine Mind. But we are starting off with Benjy here. We do have the heal spawning over around bottom mid, down near the camo. So if that camo wasn't important enough to go for, you've also got the heal spawning down there as well. And we are with Benjy. He is unfortunately dropped, and we're now moving over to BZIIRK. So a little bit of initial time for the Chiefs, and they're still hanging in there. Beastn down in the hill, but a triple for Adz, and we move to we get the overkill. Finally, with the shock rifle, Justin. We almost had it last game. Adz starting off on a heater, and these multi-kills are so important because they can give you so much uncontested time. Adz starting off on a tear, just what we wanted.
Yeah, and just look how perfectly he placed himself up on that as well with that that grapple shot. The momentum was just... Oh, Adz is just going off. Hoots, what's going on? Adz or Slayz, I'm not sure what's going on, but Dadz is angry. I think after getting styled on a little bit before, he's like, boys, I've got to redeem myself. Give me all the goodies and watch me get a clip. And he seems to be just doing all the right things, and I'm all for it at the moment. But we are here with Braddles. He finds himself, Madsy, not able to secure that kill, unfortunately. But it's neck and neck in the kills department currently. But Adz 7-3 currently, just going ham.
Oh, yeah, but Justin just not converting any of it to hill time. The Chiefs just dominated the hill that whole time, even when Adz was going mental. They only really grabbed a couple of seconds. And so the Chiefs just skip away very early to an opening 1-0 lead, and it's basically a case of Adz, you can be grappling people for doubles, you can be getting no-scope shock rifle overkills, but the fact is you're not getting hill time, and that's all that matters.
Yeah, a little bit. Maybe they're too busy just standing in awe of Adz and just congratulating on getting a lovely clip and not getting any hill time. On board with Braddles, he does fall though. Now with Madsy, the shark going through in the hill right now. There's one on the board for the Chiefs currently, and they look to be pretty comfortable. Madsy also with that camo too, so he can just be sitting in such a random spot that players won't be able to see him, but he is moving on, getting a little bit aggressive with this camo, but actually kind of like this play because it puts up some pressure that they're not going to be expecting, and enable his teammate to rack up some hill time there, Hoots.
Absolutely, yeah. All the while, I mean, the Chiefs are just racking up more and more time. That is 4 down for them. For the first time, we really are seeing BBR getting some ascendancy in terms of the Slayz, and you do see BBR starting to convert this now into a good chunk of hill time. So this is what they need to do. They weren't able to do it off the back of Adz going kind of mental at the start, but they're starting to do it now off more methodical slaying, which is working really well. I like the angles from Benjy here. able to put shots in. Unfortunately, he's dropped. Didn't have a huge amount of support around him, and Madsy comes straight back in, takes out Adz for the double, goes for the triple on bradlllzzzz. There's an overkill up at top if he wants it, and he... Oh, my...
And it's Ninjestics again!
Oh, he just doesn't...
Beastn, what are you doing, mate?
Oh, meanwhile, though, as good as that is, as unfortunate as it is to not get the overkill, the Chiefs managed to rack up their second point. Justin, look at the time clock. We start at only 5 minutes. There's only been 36 seconds where the hill has not been contested, and that's saying that teams are just going on massive runs, and for the most part, it's the Chiefs. They've bounced out to a really early lead.
Yeah, and Madsy here with the sword, slice and dice, managing to get one. Killing spree for him. He does fall straight away. Ninjestics now with that sword. Slayz doing everything that he can to push him back, but he does go down. Look at those prediction shots from Ninjestic, taking him down. Another multi-kill coming up. Come on, Ninjestics, it's your time. BZIIRK with the stick there to shut him down. That's a critical kill there, Hoots, because if Ninjestics got away with his life in that situation, he would be racking up hill time. So heads up play from BZIIRK there to shut that one down. But now with Slayz moving in to shut down this kill, this aggression, just going in there and getting it done, taking down Adz there, and he's got the sword now sitting in his back pocket, and Beastn with that camo as well. Chiefs looking a bit scary, Hoots.
Yeah, they are. I mean, BBR got a really good chunk of hill time there, but this camo, I think, is going to be really crucial in stopping it. Just look at this. bradlllzzzz is going to be taken down. He was in a position to start to make a move on that hill. A double there from Beastn. I think he might have taken his teammate out as well. There is a sword there if he wants to pick it up. He has this camo. I thought that should have been a triple as well, but he still gets the stick. That was 3 down for BBR, and look at the flip again. So that's so disheartening for BBR. They were bringing this hill in. They got a really good chunk of time. And look at this. Chiefs just roll right in. They're going to take the 3rd point. They're back in the hill. Only a sliver of time left. They're looking to close this one out super quickly and get straight into our grand finals. They want to be done before midnight.
They really do. It's bedtime for them. Beastn doing everything that he can to stay alive in that situation. Speaking of Beastn, going 15-7 right now, Hoots. So putting on a bit of a show. Madsy with 13-16 as well. So doing pretty well himself. BZIIRK gets taken down by Ninjestics. Ninjestics doing everything that he can, taking down Slayz as well. Second player's there if he wants him. And that hill, there's a couple of dead players, but BBR not really responding and getting in that hill and getting that critical time they need to get them back into this game, Hoots.
Yeah, it's just they just need to be a little bit more objectively focused right now, but it is hard when you have the Chiefs slaying like they are. I mean, Beastn 16-7. You got Madsy 13-7. Madsy was popping off at the start, so Beastn sort of taken over that role as the Chief Slayer. bradlllzzzz here just trying to make a move on this hill. The Chiefs do have a little bit of the lead in terms of this. Beastn, second time's a charm, takes him down with the sword, and he's just flailing it around like a madman. 3 down for BBR. You're going to see Chiefs start to make a really big move, I think, on this hill to start to rack up a fair bit of time. You do have a shock rifle in the hands of Benjy, but he was no shields from the get-go. It was always going to be hard for him there. That's 2 down now for BBR, 2 down for Chiefs, as we are on board with Adz, but he's taken down camo and sword. That's going to be a real difference maker here in helping to outslay BBR and letting the Chiefs get the kind of time that they're starting to rack up now.
Beastn is the scariest man alive right now. 19-7. He's got the sword. He's got the camo. Bags himself one. Killing spree for him. But the call-out grenades have come flying in, looking to take him out. Finds bradlllzzzz, takes him down. Another play there. Father Benjy, though, one to take down the rampage. But Beastn, 21-8 right now. He's going ham. And now BZIIRK finding a kill for himself as well. Doing what he can to clear out that hill, and he falls himself. Just players falling left and right. Adz, he not able to secure that kill. Slayz getting away with his life, and it looks like the Chiefs are really getting in there and just getting up in the faces of BBR. Just so much pressure, Hoots.
Yeah, this hill is always a real scrap down in the tunnel here because it's really easy to get snuck up on a couple nades down there, and it's it's pretty hard to avoid. So we do see the nade spam goes in, knocks the player out. So BBR were getting a bit of time there, but Chiefs have managed to basically shut them down now, and they're not really looking to make a move on the hill straight away. They're waiting a little bit, shields to come back, and then just have a look at this coverage here. You've got coverage from back blue down around the seeing Madsy just go nuts again, but we are seeing coverage from back blue as well as front, and I think we're going to see Chiefs about to shut this one out. Justin, Madsy does take a few nades. Benjy tries to get one in there, but unfortunately can't take him out. That's a 4-0 from the Chiefs, Justin. We thought Adz's overkill and grappling maniacal play was going to maybe set a bit of tone at the start, but unfortunately after that it was all Chiefs, Luke. 3-0. That's the statement they needed to make after getting 3-0'd themselves in our winners final.
Yeah, it certainly was, and that was kind of the turnaround that I was hoping here for the Chiefs. I was, there was a little, kind of voice in the back of my head that was thinking maybe this might be the time for BBR to kick the Chiefs while they're down and force them out of a grand final for the first time in feels like ever for Halo Infinite. But, it really was kind of on the Chiefs to show us that they had that grit and had that bit of tenacity to truly have that rematch in the grand final. And Justin, I think they did it in a pretty convincing fashion. The fact that this King of the Hill started with an Adz overkill with a shock rifle and then Chiefs still made it look like a 4-0 sweep is kind of telling the fact that there was just so many more members from the side of the Chiefs that were just doing a whole lot of work.
Yeah, listen, it's just no stopping the Chiefs at that point, right? They just started to wake up a little bit, They went, time to get our heads in the right space, boys, and we'll get things done. Adz with that early overkill, which was just beautiful, and then he follows it up with a lovely double with the grapple shot here as well.
So good.
It's just so good. And the Adz, I'm sorry, mate. It doesn't matter. It was all about that time where you got 720 taken out before. That's what people would be talking about. It will be, Adz will be like, yeah, boys, you see the overkill they got? And it's like, yeah, did you see when someone 720'd on you and you couldn't get the kill? That's what it's going to be about. That's what people remember. I'm sorry, Adz. I love you, but that's what it's about, unfortunately. But BBR, they had a really strong tournament tonight, didn't they? They came out, they surprised a lot of people. They took down the Direwolves, who looked really hot at Armageddon, and that's just credit to how these guys are shaping up. And hopefully this roster can get some game time in before DreamHack Melbourne, because I think that's the difference maker for the BBR squad, is that you do have some of the players like Adz and bradlllzzzz that don't really have the grind time that some of these other teams have, and they're going to have to put some hours in if they're going to want to take down the Chiefs. And I think that's literally what it is they've got to just get their BRs tuned a little bit, and they can contest for that number 2, number 1 spot.